This is not the time to feel sorry. You need to think logically, not emotionally right now. First of all, we need to evaluate our situation, our paper, our mistake, our approach. And second, in terms of preparation strategy with respect to the course, the curriculum, the content. And the last part, something to do with a little bit of EQ, which is extremely important today, especially when you're tackling professional exams. Take a piece of paper and a pen, and you will very logically, very calmly listen. So first, we need to evaluate as to where we went wrong. So I told you, one, you did not complete the syllabus, you did selective studying, and questions came in from that area. Your time management was an issue. Revision nahi hua, therefore attention was an issue. Exam, you have poor self-confidence. Exam time, you start panicking, you overthink, you are not able to solve the questions. We are going to do is, we are going to scale 1 to 10 for each of the problems. Panic is my problem, I will write 9 against it. If suppose time management is not that big an issue, let's say write 5 against it. If say for example my revision was complete, retention was not a problem, I'll write 2 against it or 0 against it. First of all, identify what are the problems and where my problem lies. Now we need to identify how to tackle each of the situations. First of all, when your problem is with respect to retention is poor. So what do you do to make your retention better? You do 2 revisions maybe before the exam day. 1 revision may be spanning across 10-15 days, a detailed revision, and maybe a 2-3 day quick revision again, 1 day before the exam, 2 days before the exam. So if the problem is with respect to my retention, then I will make short notes in the margin the way with you in the class. Also, I will make formula sheets. I will do 1 very good quality revision before the exam and 1 quick revision in 3 days. So if retention is a problem, this is my solution. If the problem is that I don't understand tricky questions, that means I need to practice more so that I come across more kinds of tricks, so that I train my brain. If I'm making a lot of silly mistakes, I need to meditate or do whatever it takes. I need to increase my focus and my concentration level. Another problem people have is they get tired. 3 hours you can't sit and give the exam. Your concentration level or your stamina is so bad that you can't sit for 3 hours or 6 hours for a CFA or 4 hours for an FRM. You don't have that level of stamina that in 1 day, 8 hours at a stretch you can think. Just imagine how poor your stamina has become. I mean, I also need to realize, can I stay without the phone throughout the day? Yes, I can. So I evaluate. There are days I don't even realize that I did not even use my phone throughout the day. So I have to have that kind of stamina where I don't do hell with my phone. Why? Because I was so engrossed in my class or I was so engrossed in my office. So you know that level of resilience you'll have to bring to yourself. Next, if you're making a difficulty in your interpreting questions or approaching the questions, you have to be very good at reading. So you have to read more material, read more economy, more business news of these things, and understand the exam is going to be a short-term thing. Ultimately, a career is a very, very long-term thing. If time management and exam panic is your issue, then you need to give more mock papers at home. Even if it is not a full mock paper, you time, I'm doing 30 questions, I'll take 40 minutes. I'll time myself at 45 minutes and I'll see how much I can crack. Don't practice without studying, because then your confidence will go down. You study very well, then you practice, your scores will be good. Your panic level will go down because you're better prepared in the exam. Now, how do you manage on a day-to-day basis with respect to your studying? 1, study before the office. Nobody's a night person, it is scientific. I told you earlier also, study before office hours. If you're a working professional, I sympathize with you. I understand you have a problem, but you're not doing me a favor by studying. You're studying because you need growth, you need your career, you need to do better. So you're studying for yourself. It's a very selfish reason that you're studying. You have to enjoy your study. You have to study before office. Absolutely no cell phone when you're doing the lecture. Another thing is, I see people, they tell me that, I did half an hour lecture. I want to be able to operate your class and the email together. Please don't study like that. You may not like what I'm saying or my tone. Apologies for that. But what you need to do is, you need to please not touch your phone while you're doing a class, and you need to make sure that you're doing a class at least at a stretch of 3 hours. If you can't concentrate for 3 hours, how do you expect to concentrate and in a stressful environment in the exam and then give the exam? There is no daydreaming business. When I've got too much of work in my mind and I'm just getting too unnerved about it, what I do is I write down the first 10 things, the top 10 things or the most immediate thing that I need to complete today. And what I do is I decide that I'll complete these things and then I will start taking tension. So what happens is my work gets over. If my work gets over, attention has gone down because the more important things have been taken care of. And by the time my work is over, I'm so exhausted that I don't have time to take tension. And ultimately my work is getting done. There are quite a few students who understand that, there is something that I have done wrong. I have not studied well, or I did not give the kind of respect that a professional exam deserves, or I've not given it that kind of time, that practice, that effort that it deserves. Because see, it's a percentile system. We have to understand, in school we had 100 students and 100 used to pass or 98 used to pass. In a professional exam, out of 100 students, 30-40 are passing. So 60 people will not clear. So if there are other people who are working harder than me, they deserve to pass, na? It's fine. Passing and not passing is going to be a part and parcel of life. That's okay. But we have to be very practical. So we have to be able to tackle failure. Now let's come to the exam strategy exactly, the preparation part. So now we have to understand whether you are supposed to be starting afresh. So there are different combinations you can do. First of all, the order of study does not matter anymore because you know all the content, you know all the interlinkages of all the subjects, so you can make your own order of study, alternate theory, practical the way you want. And if you don't want to apply too much of brain, my suggestion is follow the order of study that I've given to you. If you have some difficult areas that you have not tackled well, or if you have certain chapters that you had left, my suggestion is you start with that because you'll find that more interesting. You'll start concentrating more on that. So you start with that. Otherwise, you follow my order of study or you do whatever order you want. The next thing is whether I should watch all the classes, whether I should not watch any of the classes. That becomes another question. Now, what you should do is for the chapters you've not done or the chapters you have conceptual error or you find it very difficult, my sincere request or advice to you would be that you should watch all the lectures of those chapters at least. So for the chapters, I'm like super confident. I don't need this guy's help. Or, again, I don't need to see the class again. In that case, what do? You study the chapter very thoroughly yourself, making sure that 100% concepts are understood. Then you do the practice. For the chapters you think that, it's conceptually difficult, I don't understand or have not done that, you watch the class, you study very well, and then you solve the questions. For the chapters you feel that, I pretty much know, but I'm not very sure about the concepts. In those cases, I would suggest you to watch the class and then do the practice, and studying part you can leave it towards the revision time because you already studied once. Now what happens is when you're studying, please make sure that you're making your mistakes sheet. When you're studying, I keep on telling you that is situation mein aisa hoga, us situation mein waisa hoga. So start noting down those things because you'll have to ultimately revise. You can't watch all the classes during revision, right? So you have to ultimately revise. So start penning down those things. For those in a really bad situation of preparation, in terms of conceptual understanding, do the class, do the practice at least. And when you're doing the class, along with the class, you make your short notes in the margin and whatever extra pointers I'm doing, you start noting down the textbook itself. And for the others who are thoroughly prepared, but unluckily did not work out for your time management, that day was bad, approach was not correct, it was just not your day. So in those kind of situations, what you do is you do practice more. You study and practice. You don't have to do the class. Wherever you feel that this concept is a little if and but I'm having over here, that portion you watch on the video. There is nothing that you have to watch all the classes again. It's not mandatory. If you are still confused, you can't decide, you start studying the chapter first. The moment you see that I'm not being able to recall things, you'll automatically, while studying, you'll understand that whether I need to switch on the class and whether I need to attend the class or not again, right? That you will have to judge and you'll have to decide. And it'll only happen once you start studying. You may take a break for a few days and then you start studying. So don't worry so much about it. The next thing is, in terms of from my side, any change in syllabus, May, June or with November, December, the syllabus does not change. Year to year, the syllabus changes. Whatever changes of the syllabus are there, when it is out, it is informed in WhatsApp group. So you will not have an issue. The changes in syllabus will be shared with you on Google Drive. You have to ping the coordinator, fill in the Google form or whatever the instructions have been provided, and your validity will be extended. You will make sure that you have been shifted to the new WhatsApp group because the voice notes and all the guidance will be provided in that particular WhatsApp group. All those technical things can be taken care of. You don't have to buy new books and all that. Whatever extra changes and all are there, you can just go through those few pages, you can Xerox and all, and it will be provided to you when the new syllabus is out. All the instructions are provided, so you don't even have to ask for it. So don't worry about it. Another question is whether you need to skip the term or not. See, you will have to decide. You've seen the entire content now. You know how much time it takes for what. You know what kind of time frame you have with office. You can manage your studies. That you will have to decide now because you have all the information. Decision you have to take, that is only going to happen if you pen down things. So decide based on the job you have, the time frame you are left with, the kind of preparation you've already done, your commitments that you have, and you decide. Another thing is where people come to me. Now I'll come to the aspect where you're feeling demotivated or something. So now I hope you're not in a demotivated phase. After explaining all these things, logically you'll write down all these things on pen and paper. You'll decide where you've gone wrong and how you want to move forward. You want the exam, you want the job, you give the interview as many number of times. You want the degree, you'll give the exam. And I told you it's professional exam. You have to have a very high EQ. So we'll give the exam. We are not going to give up. I would never advise a student to give up ever. Even if you've attempted the exam a second time and did not clear it, still I will not advise a student to ever give up. Don't take a decision immediately once your result is out. You should wait for a few days and then you should take a decision. Long term it matters. Short term it doesn't matter what has happened. And in the long term it doesn't matter what was the number of attempts you've taken. What matters is that you have the degree. You have the education, you have the knowledge, you're doing well in your job. Your emotional quotient has to be high. And if you have a problem, there are some students who also ask me. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying at all they're wrong. लोग क्या कहेंगे, स्टूडेंट क्या बोलेंगे, I've never failed in my life, this is the first time I've failed. वो सब नहीं सोचने का. Nobody is going to come and pay your bills. Nobody cares. So just concentrate on yourself and prove them wrong. Now, people who matter to you and who they will push you to do better. They will never judge you on an exam. Come on. So don't think on all those grounds. And these are professional exams. These things will happen. We have to be very, very mature to understand that. I can give you a challenge. 15 days के लिए try करके देखो. You're allowed to switch the data network only once in a day. You switch on data network, you do all your Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp, whatever you want to do, and then you switch off your data network. You can't switch on internet again. I do that so many times. I hope this is helping you and don't give up यार. अच्छा एग्जाम है यार, एग्जाम देंगे, क्लियर कर लेंगे, एक बार नहीं हो दोबारा दे देंगे. इतना ईगो थोड़ी है. वो सब नहीं रखने का, एकदम आराम से शांति से पढ़ने का. All the very best. Don't worry. Take a couple of days off and then start studying afresh.